Hey, YouTube. Welcome back for another week of Bash and Cramer. Took the week off last week. I had a head cold. Cramer took the day off, I guess, and we said the heck with it. We'll roll this into the next week. Thanks again for joining us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends because our accuracy is unreal. I mean, we kill it. We're holding a 95.4% accuracy rating so far total from first segment to now. That's pretty impressive, I must say. I'll try not to injure myself, pat myself on the back there. Welcome back, our host, Matthew. We're going to do some guest spots here. We kind of coordinate this on the cuffs. This week we didn't have a guest. Last week we had Creed with us and had some good times. All three of us throwing shade at Cramer. And I think next week we should have somebody fun to bring on. And I've just got to kind of coordinate that as it goes. It's just kind of haphazard. We play it on the cuff just like we do with our price action. We just scalp it. So
yeah.
So anyway, this week has been kind of interesting for us SPY and ES futures traders, and at the same time, everything kind of fell into place today to have some just beautiful swings. You can see my style here. I've been trading these fan lines and running amok with them on the 5-second chart. And the 1-minute chart has just been fruitful with exact liquidity zones. We have potential for measured move. We had all the midday swing stuff in hand. We're starting to swing back up right now for retracement to about 540, 640 or so, looking like. And outside of that, we got some longer term targets on SPY. Let me get on my 30-minute chart. In fact, let me blow this up on one screen right after I talk about MLGO. We've been trading this for almost a month now, and this thing has just been absolutely fruitful. I mean, we scalped the crap out of every move in this thing, and it just keeps going. Ran over my 2250 target this morning. This thing is nuts. Don't FOMO this. Don't chase it. It's a little late now. I got a swing entry down here at like $3.80, and then I've been scalping the crap out of it in my other account. This thing has potential to run like no other. I mean, look at the weekly targets. Even though we had a split like 1 for 10 over here, adjusted, we've got targets outside of like $70 on this damn thing. It's just nuts. I got all these previous pivots that are just nailed, and next one here is like 34.50. This thing is just psycho. I've been just loving trading this thing. I can't get over how much it's actually been fruitful, and the more volatile it becomes, the more easy it is to find price targets on this thing. This is just how price action works for us when we get used to scalping a 5-second chart, y'all. Anyway, I just thought I would mention that real quick. Moving on, we got to be quick because there's a big list, and you got to bail at 11:45, so we'll make this work. So looking at SPY on our 2-hour chart, obviously we've got this nice ballistic trend. We've retraced, come back in, kind of looking a little cup and handily here, and we've got the angular right here on our broadening pattern that we've been scalping. Bounced off of our regression line yesterday. I added a couple extensions up here today, and it just nailed them like clockwork. But this is the zone we need to break to really get anywhere. So if we can't break back above 548, look for some pullbacks in this area. We might start to build a descending channel in this range. And if this does the cup and handle thing, we get a boost above that 549 and we start skying out to the 550s. But for now, just be very nimble. There's some things going on in the market that might give us a little bit of volatility in the next couple of weeks here. What say you?
Just remember, we got PCE tomorrow.
Yes.
Which, probably won't be an issue, but it could be. And really all we're seeing as far as the market goes is just moving from one Magnificent Seven name to the other. So, yesterday it was Amazon and Apple. I haven't even looked to see what it was today. I know it's not NVIDIA, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's been all kinds of movement for sure, and rotation is coming out of one and going to the other. It seems to just kind of run between the different, the different chips, really.
But, right, there's no breath here.
Yeah, it's going to be a little chaotic, and there'll be some good scalps in this range, but like finding exact targets, I mean, you're going to have to be pretty nimble and learn how to day trade a little bit, guys. Sorry. Swing traders are going to be either sitting on their hands or waiting patiently for something to follow through. That's just how it is. Market conditions are definitely favoring the day trader these days. Moving into the Cramer list. I mean, I got to be real quick with this because we got a long list and only a few I want to hit on. He's making love with TJX again, and we don't care.
Yeah, he was all over all the retailers. I mean, TJX looks like it's curling into a short position, but
Oh, look at it. What the hell? Yeah, it's rounding over. I can see my infamous diamond pattern happening now. It's accumulating on the compression side of the diamond. So if this thing breaks down, we got all these retracement targets to nail. Come on, Jim. Don't say buy this thing. Not good. This thing's been chased forever. And it's just parabolic as all hell. And the big doji party at the top to boot. Guys, be nimble on this. Don't do anything without doing your own due diligence. Let's just say that. I'm watching that daily 8 period and it's just starting to crack. That's probably like the only moving average I really use. And right now it's looking more bearish than bullish. So I wouldn't just up and buy it here unless this consolidation breaks into a new trend. Look for a pullback coming soon. And this bar here says, I got a gap down for you, folks. So be nimble.
I mean, this has gone from 95 to 110 in 2 months, and it's a retail stock. So
Yeah, it's got to give a little. I mean, this is just parabolic, and this is just hype and FOMO fueled madness. In our opinion, we know what this looks like. We've seen it 1,000 times before.
yep.
Other retailer like Urban Outfitter, kind of prone, looks good for a short. Right now we're at one retracement target. Jim said buy it yesterday. Hey, there's your Cramer bar. Look for this to break into a neutral like doji today for our daily candle. I'm almost certain that's going to give us a doji here. It can go either way. So if it starts to break tomorrow into this bearish range, we start retracing this bar. Target's 41.10. That's pretty obvious. If it holds and starts to boost back into a bullish move, split this range. Give it a nice retracement target to 44. So not big movements in my opinion. We hold interest in charts like this, but we like bigger moves. Dollars make sense. So we like to trade other things, and that's where I'm looking at a couple other just mentions here. Molson Coors, he said buy this yesterday. Careful, man. I got a critical support area at 50 bucks on this thing. I've been watching for a while, and that big old M top broke. He's been saying buy this thing over and over and over again. It's just been plummeting. He says it one more time here.
I bought this a week or so ago and ended up selling the pop. Looking at it, it looks like that pop failed, and it looks like it's on its way back down.
I agree, and it's looking for support. If we get a double bottom on a daily here, maybe we start to accumulate and reverse here. But for now, I mean, if I'm taking this into effect, we got this massive bearish trend. Here is your current measured move, and retracement is typically 50%. So we got high to low. It's done that, rejected it. Yeah, failed to break out, so definitely scalp the pop, of course. Wait for another low here, and we can trade to mean reversion of this trend, or we can trade to resistance up here to 51.50 or so. So I wouldn't just up and buy this thing for an investment, in my opinion, and I'm looking at scalping it maybe. And then if it reverses here, cool, we start getting some retracements in here. We can go to 58 bucks, why not? But
51.70 is the 20-day exponential on this whole ride down. It has never made it. It's attempted and always failed.
Yeah. So I mean, when you look left, unless this reverses here, and that's one big ass M top, we know what those do. If it starts to find a break below this $50 pivot here, look for retracement to all these. We got 47.80 and even 44.70 down here is one of the lower ranges that we could get to. M tops always look a little left. When everyone else is looking at the daily chart, go look at the weekly chart, because that tells you everything you need to know. I did the same thing when everybody was trying to get long on Roku a couple years back, and everybody that I knew was going long on it on an M top on a weekly, and I'm like, no, I'm shorting this. I was right.
Yep.
Another mention, Levi. There's a Cramer bar if I ever saw one, right? Oh man. So pulling this off, I mean that just straight up gap down overnight. But did he? What time does the show come on? I don't even watch the damn thing. Cause I got to.
6 o'clock. Yeah, I tape it and watch it in the morning so I can fast forward. I never watch it live.
So I mean overnight. Okay, so 6 o'clock. He says buy it. Here we are. It popped up. There's your little Cramer popping, and everybody who knew better shorted it. There's your Cramer bar. So again, look left. Daily chart gave us exactly where that pivot was. Bing, right to it. That's a retracement for this whole move here. That's 50%. Maybe we can buy it later, but for now, don't pull a Cramer and chase it. Just wait for this to settle up a little bit. Maybe we get a reversal here, maybe not. Just be nimble. But again, it's not our most interesting chart. Very small moves, 19 to 21. Oh, we got bigger fish to fry. Swing traders can get into stuff like this. Okay, maybe make some options plays on it, whatever. But for now, it's not very interesting to day traders. So you might get a reversal in a swing trade here. So not going to give him a kudo because, dude, I wouldn't have bought that. But, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe we're in a zone where we could start having interest in it as if we're investors, whatever. Costco was another one he mentioned. Cramer bar again. This is just a pullback, though. I think Costco is going to settle around this area, around 848, 846, somewhere in here. And maybe we don't get a triple top here, but if we do, that just says left shoulder, head, right shoulder, pivot.
This looks like a stock that wants to go sideways.
Yeah. I bet we get a big giant bear flag out of this thing that drags on for months. Not bear flag, bull flag. Kind of like we did here. We got this big rip down here, and then we got this consolidation all through the year, basically. And then we found this zone here last time we talked about it, and we knew it was likely to be bullish, and we were right. And boy, did it make a big ass move because we have the primary here. There's a secondary. We set this up. I deleted my drawings since then, except for these two zones. But yeah, easy peasy. We've hit that target. Sideways it is. Unless it pulls back and snaps this pivot, we're likely to hang in this range. Pretty cut and dry. Just basic price action there. One I did have a little interest in was CCL here. That I have a bullish target on at 1908. It's just basically retracing with the 86.6 fib from the all-time high here. It's got a little more room to run, but this is the point where I'm a little nervous on it. We exceeded our measured move out of drawing the wedge backwards here, where I plot from regression line outside of angular resistance, and it's done that and then some. It made a move and a half out of that. So the extension is obviously previous highs fib.
I'd be careful with discretionary names, and this is a really messy chart.
It is. It's hard to follow, hard to trade, but I've had pretty good runs with this thing. But yeah, it's at a point where it can consolidate, and this is the 76.3 fib. I'm terrible with fib lines. I just use basic blocks to trade my stuff, but if it does, break below like 18 and a quarter here, sure, it can be destined for a pullback to 17 and maybe even get down to like 17 even. But if it accumulates here and continues on, we still have a bull target in hand at 19, so it's got some range. What was the other one I wanted to go with? The T-Mobile? No. I have one that made a perfect measured move and then rejected, and I can't remember which one it was. This Paychecks thing, he said buy. I'm like, I don't know about that. I'll wait. I'll wait and wait because that thing just STB'd all over the place, and this just says I want to be short. Burlington, we're in a liquidity zone on Burlington. That's a good one. So a previous 50% retracement of this whole trend here, we've nailed it once and twice. I think that's about done. I wouldn't buy it here, Jim. This is going to be an iffy zone. If it can't get out of this and be bullish and plot a full 1-for-1 up to the next target right up here to about 290. This thing can fail and rip down half of this thing and settle around 220. Now that's a chart I would trade. I'm going to wait and see what happens with this liquidity zone, but if I see a nice double top here and it's starting to take shape on a daily and starts to snap this zone at 230, 232, I'm looking for this gap to fill here, guys. So that could be a decent bearish setup, so keep an eye on this one. And it's another retailer, so once the consumer runs out of liquidity, man, those things are going to start to show their colors, just to say.
Yep.
You know, same with Ross here, looking like a good short setup. And what was the other one here? Darn it, I get lost sometimes. Wasn't that one? Urban Outfitters we already did. Oh, Walmart.
Yeah.
That's right. Walmart's another interesting one.
Always love the Walmart.
You know, it's basically met our bullish target. We were right on that one. But buy it here? No, I don't think so, Jim. We've already hit the roof.
Again, looks like it wants to go sideways.
I think so. You know, sideways and then maybe accumulate into a quick couple of bearish scalps down to like 67-ish. Sure, we got a dollar move in hand here, pretty easy. Yeah, you know, be careful. I wouldn't go chasing this just because Jimbo said buy it. No, we're looking for a Jim bar right here, and I think we will hit 67.40 again today. That's a good possibility. You had some sells on hand, but we got a few minutes. Should I talk about AT&T? Why not? He said sell this.
That was the one. Yeah, so someone called in about AT&T and he told him to buy T-Mobile.
What the hell? Come on, man. AT&T is a golden child, man. You can't just up and bail on it. Although, I'll give them...
Yeah, they both look like shorts to me, actually.
I'll give them some credit here. Yeah, we've made a 1.5 move. We hit that previous high for resistance here, about 1870 or so. So, okay, half a kudo on the weekly chart, but the daily chart tells me we could accumulate and go higher here. So I would wait for this setup to break over before I go either side on this thing myself. It's looking like a good short setup, but I would wait for this range to break. Maybe break 1860 and start heading for retracement to 1810. And the options chain on this thing provides some decent swing trades in spite of its very short, small price action moves. I liken it to trading forward contracts. It's very subtle, easy to trade movements. It's a good options platform for beginners to learn how to trade options. But for, you know, swing trading this thing, you'd have to own a big chunk of it to make any money on it. So trading equity is just kind of, for me, not worth it. The dividend doesn't really tickle my fancy. I'm not a dividend hound anyway. It's just one of those. Would I run a wheel trade on this? I have before, but I lost interest in it because it was like maybe doing 2% a month. Wasn't really worth it to me. Can we get an outside move and go above this halfway point? Sure. Just kind of wait and see what this pattern does. It'll give us a break one way or another. CVS, he said sell. Yeah, half a kudo. All right. Good short right back to a pivot down here at 56. I can see that following through.
I don't think he's been a fan of this one or Walgreens for a while. I may be wrong, but I mean, I think his issue would be the same as mine. You know, why go someplace where everything's locked up and you got to find someone to unlock it when you can sit on your couch and order from Amazon and have it there the next day?
Exactly. About the only time I go to CVS or Walgreens for is when I got to get a case of Arizona tea. I'll get the, you know, the buy two for $1 thing. I'll buy a whole case of it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you got a migraine and you need pills like right now,
that helps too.
Thing, but, you know, anything that can wait, I'm going on Amazon.
Same, and occasionally a candy run after Halloween. If you got to restock your candy drawer, I have a drawer full of candy I keep in my desk at all times. I don't sit here and binge on it. I just have a little, but I restock it. That's kind of what I do sometimes. But otherwise, yeah, it's all sit at home and order Amazon. But as for price action on this thing, I mean, we've got a really nice return to the pivot here happening. It's basically filling that gap. It made the 50% retracement, fell short. All right, Jim, I'll give you a kudo. Sell it. Not a fan. Definitely, he has in the past been bullish on this thing, and times where, yeah, it worked out, but he's been bearish on it most of this year and last year since I can remember. He did have a couple of bullish calls that failed back in the past, and I think that's when this diamond pattern here was forming, and we caught the reversion trade on that one. He was saying buy it, I think, at this top here, and it just fell short. I remember that one. Same with Boots, Walgreens here. Same difference. We've got a
Yep.
really nice measured move, just absolutely flooding with people shorting it. I mean, even the monthly chart says I got a gap to fill, and holy smokes, $1.90. It's going. Eventually going to get there. 1172 current low, and I think we're going to probably accumulate here, maybe make a quick retracement and go lower, in my opinion. But so far, the shorts are loving this thing. Good God, are they ever. So kudos to Jim for saying, sell this one. Last night, that would have been a good time to sell it. Okay, pat yourself on the back, buddy. You did good. Anything else we got? Just real quick stuff, because I know you got about 7 minutes, 6 minutes?
Yeah.
Chipotle here, we were looking at pullbacks on this thing. I erased it here, but we had a measured move, hit the target, came right back. It's retraced. That's been done. This was something he was talking about 2 weeks ago, and I believe he said buy this one. No, we
Yeah, I
were
mean this seems like a Nvidia like pattern where you get the stock split, you get the run up into the split, and then once the split happens, you get the sellers.
agreed. And that was a 50 for one, so I mean it's massive. So now we're looking for some decent price action. This will attract traders more than investors, guys. So
I'd look for an undercut and rally on that 50-day.
I agree, and
Sitting right on it.
I think once it touches 62 even, you're going to find some buyers. So let's just draw it up. We got liquidity right there. It's obvious. There's your daily. Look for buyers right in this range right here. And if they start to make some volatility there, you might have a good noise for a bullish trade to return half this trend to about 64.35 or so. Just give that bar back half. Pretty easy trade. Yeah, I'm going to watch this one. What else was he talking about? CRM, Salesforce here. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he said sell this one. It's returning above half here, and we're starting to fill this gap. I'd say 268 is a good fair target on this thing. What do you?
I mean, you've got the 200-day at 256.85, which it looks like it wants to test, and then you got a gap fill.
Yeah, I think we're both bullish on this one. I like it to just under 267. I think is a good fair target on this thing. And if it starts to blast through that 278, it's right in the middle of that trend. High to low, split the difference. It's right about there. In fact, I'm going to draw a pivot there. Go just short of it, about the mean. I like to split these accumulations in half because I know I can say, react, don't predict all day long, but you can predict a target, react to the price action, place a limit order at your target, and then you can always hover over the eject button ready to take profit on that trade if it starts to not look like it's going to hit that prediction. So
Yep.
predict a little, but you don't always have to be exactly right. But I mean, our accuracy rating for calling these things out is 95.4% overall. Can't complain about that. Keep tuned. We'll give you more. So far we're kicking ass. Let's just say that. We should be replacing Jim, damn it. Any others you want to mention? We've got a couple minutes.
Nothing I can really think of.
I'm going to look at MLGO again because I think it's just great.
What is it? MLGO?
Yeah, Micro Algo. Mike Lima Golf Oscar. I've been trading it since it was flat back here.
It is.
I mean, the percentage swings in this thing are just nuts. I mean, I've
I mean, it's
absolutely,
gone from what, under one to,
yeah.
20 and,
Well,
oh no, all right. So yeah, 156 to 1986 and over the month. Not a bad move.
look further. So we had a reverse split 1 for 10 on the 22nd there last month, or sorry, March. And since then, if you do the adjustment here, look at the weekly chart and you look at this thing that hits 715 here, 10 to 1, that gets us to 70. But that's not adjusted, so I don't know why my application here is not finding that adjustment. Did it hit 715? I can't remember. But I do remember trading this in some volatility there, just day trading it and walked away and never looked back and then didn't even realize this happened. Now we're looking for all of these retracement targets, and let me blow this up for you. This is just psycho what this thing can do. And it's a low float too. It doesn't have very many shares in the float, so this is what happens.
Yeah, I mean that I could have guessed from seeing this move.
Yeah. Rumor has it inside ownership's like 86% or something like that, which is insane. So that doesn't leave you a lot of actual free float to trade between retail traders, and that's what drives these massive moves. This isn't really necessarily short squeezing. I think this is a lot of just new money chasing old money, and you get these retracements. We've nailed that 2250. I mean, it blew through it this morning, and I was like stoked because I had a limit order sitting at 2250 and just got paid on my day trading account, but my swing trading account's still long at 380. So I mean, I'm kicking butt on this thing. But if it starts to go for full retracement, I'm looking at like 33.40, possibly up here to 52, 53 bucks. It's insane. Don't FOMO this thing, guys. Definitely scalp it and stay nimble. Don't sit there and hold things if it starts to run against you.
Trade it, don't own it.
That's right. Trade the crap out of it. Don't own it. but dude, this thing, I think Cramer's even going to start talking about this thing if it keeps making moves like this. I really do. Yeah.
I doubt it. He doesn't like. I would assume this is a company that doesn't make money.
Probably not. I'm pretty sure they're
So
Chinese owned or
he
something.
doesn't like money. Yeah, he doesn't like that stuff.
But there's literally targets for buyouts though, which is part of the hype that makes it move like this. So, rumors start spreading, people start talking, things start shaking, and we start scalping. So
There we go.
move with it. I've just
All
realized.
right, I got to hop.
Yeah, well, I've just realized we just hit your time. So thanks again, man. We'll see you next week. Thanks again for doing this, and we'll try and get a guest coordinator for next week. Maybe I'll talk to you in an email, and we'll see where we go.
All right, yeah, beautiful.
Right on. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great week. Thanks for joining us. Tell your friends.